So once upon a time, there was this little rural village known as Hidden Acres, and the major resources of the village was farming and hunting. Now, the largest farm in the village was owned by a man named John and his wife, Lauren. And their farm was the most crucial farm for the primary resources for the entire village. Now, John, being the farmer, he was pretty stubborn. And the irony was he actually did not like farming at all. And he really just preferred to just go camping, and he just wanted to see the world. However, that was not the case. So every night he prayed that his wife would become pregnant, even though she was infertile. He wanted the kids because he wanted to use the kids for labor and just promote the farm instead of him just working all the time, because he just did not like farming at all, but it was his duty. So he traveled to the gypsy in the village, and she told him that he should stick to his ancestral roots of farming, for all the fathers before him were farmers. So the next morning, he received a message from the gypsy, and the gypsy told him to put seeds in his wife's meal, and so that's what he did. So his wife instantly just became pregnant in minutes, and the next day she gave birth to a boy known as Cabbage. Now, the new parents were elated about their baby boy. However, he was not like the boys in the village. He appeared in human form. However, his skin was light green, and his veins were thick white. Within the next week, he grew to the appearance of what a 21-year-old would appear to be. And his friends were not the friends of the village. His friends were the plants and the crops of their farm. He was able to talk to them unlike anybody in the village. And so from that perspective, what he did was he allowed the crops to grow more faster than what his father could do, and the crops actually were able to grow year-round instead of in season. So essentially what he did was he changed the excess resources of the village to go beyond what they had before. And so his father was highly pleased with him. So his father was now able to go on to his expedition and travel and see the world and camp for what he really wanted to do. However, the villagers in the town came through the farm and just wiped out the excess resources because it was just so lush and they had never seen it before. Now, Cabbage, he grew enraged because those were his friends, and he just couldn't deal with the thought of them, being ate up and just lost and just destroyed for no reason. So he went to the center of the crop and he rolled his hands and he said, "Rise, my friends, for you've had enough." So then Cabbage told his friends to rise, like I said, and the plant creatures grew, and they destroyed most of the village's houses. And his father, in the distance, as he was traveling, he seen the white smoke from the burning houses, and he ran back to the village as fast as he could. He took old routes and old trails to make it back as fast as he could. And what Cabbage had done with his friends, the plant friends, was he took the villagers and he planted them in the crops and submerged them in dirt. Even his own mother was beneath, submerged in the soil. When John returned, he could not imagine, and he was in disbelief for what was occurring in the village, in the town that he loved so much. So he remembered what his father had told him, His father was a very wise man and probably a better farmer than he was. However, he just stuck to his roots. So John, he grabbed cabbage and he said, a farmer must tend to his crops. Instantly, everything returned to normal and everything was okay. Thanks.